Good morning. Okay, coming to you from Montepulciano. It's in the Tuscany region of Italy. Super gorge. On my morning walk / run, mostly walk. And I'm just enjoying the scenery. And I just thought I would share. Oh, I see a cute little garden. Number one, the importance of a pause, right? P-A-U-S-E. Take time to take a minute to figure out what's important to you at this time. You know, we all have values, but sometimes the values change according to... The dog's locked up. Who knows? We'll go the other way. Sometimes our values change according to what's happening in our lives, right? Like you might have somebody sick in the household, so your value might be health more than it used to be. You might have a challenge personally, and so that your value is to find the resources. In Italy, you just find these little shrines and apple trees and olive trees and grapes. So look at these grapes. So when we think of our values, we hear a lot about value-based leadership. Those are the grapes, real low. They're beautiful. I'll just do this for you. We hear a lot about value-based, here's where I am. Where am I? There's where I am. That's the name of the little town. Montepulciano is the region. There's the beautiful grapes and hills. Oh my gosh. Okay. But, you know, it's important to take some time to pause, whether it be on vacation or just take an hour somewhere, and think, what are my values? We do this in Brain Fresh. That's my company I built because I wanted to change the status quo. I wanted to give people more resources. I wanted to, find professional joy, to find meaning. And in order to find meaning, we have to know what's important to us, right? The cute little house. And the city on the hill. That's how all the cities are here, way up on the hill. Because they're safe. So they usually have walls around them. It was a whole nother time, right? So we know we don't have to deal with those kind of safety issues, at least walking around here right now today. But some people, of course, do right now in their communities. And my heart goes out to them. When we're thinking about what's important, like what their values are during that time might be different than the values when it's not wartime, right? So when it's not wartime, sometimes we can take a minute and pause. Sometimes we feel like we're revved up, we're all stressed, but we need to step away, get a notebook out, figure out the values. That's what we do in Brain Fresh, because once we realize what we value, then it helps us say no or yes to things. It clarifies things. It helps us to get things off our plate so we don't have to waste time on things that aren't important to us at this moment. I'm 50, whatever, late 50s. Certain things are important to me today that weren't important to me early 20s, which is fine. And some things have lasted. Certain things, like my mom raised me to really honor and believe in service as just something that we should always be involved in, supporting our community, whether it be through religious or any other ways of supporting your community, your society. And then, interestingly enough, the literature suggests that's why people are happy and healthy. And I was just in Assisi yesterday. St. Francis of Assisi is a saint from the 1200s that was preaching that as well. It is in giving that you receive. And so it's very interesting when the world has certain truths. I think truths are things that are just consistent through different environments, like honesty and love. There's just certain things that are truths. And I think one of that is, as well as giving, you will receive. And then, of course, you can't give so much that you're not well yourself, right? So there's self-care, sure, absolutely. But there's also supporting your neighbors or your community, because actually that helps us. It helps the community grow. It helps us have meaning in our lives. So when people retire, a lot of my patients thinking about retiring, I say, well, find somewhere to volunteer. That's first thing. So you feel like you have meaning in your life. You know, you need that meaning. We all do as humans. Work gives us meaning. Family gives us meaning. Service gives us meaning. So a lot of things give us meaning, right? Your goals. And so back to values. So once you figure out indeed what your values are, you have more clarity on what to say yes or no to. And that's important because there's so many things that come at us. I have this beautiful morning here where nothing is coming at me beyond birds and beautiful scenery. But in a work day, you know, I counted and there's 12 ways of people to get to me, whether it be pagers, phones, messaging. There's a lot of ways that people can get to me. And so I have to focus on what's most important. Generally, it's the patient right in front of me. And when I'm building Brain Fresh, what's most important is that I'm providing resources to help boost other people, you know, to help them really live fully in their strengths and their gifts so that they have clarity. Because when you have clarity, then you can take action. When things are confusing, it's hard to take action, right? Gosh, I don't know if you can see this view, but it is just ridiculously gorge. Yeah, so we want to find clarity because clarity gives us the confidence to take action. When things are confusing, we pause. Like I find that with financial management. Sometimes I have to pause. I have to learn more before I take the next step because I don't feel solid. I don't feel comfortable with it. So I want to make sure neuroscience is understandable. So I would say, number one, you start with knowing your values. And then the next thing is you start with knowing your strengths. And there's certain ways to do that. I personally like Clifton strengths. This is what we do in Brain Fresh too. This community has this little church. How gorgeous. So we want to first start with values and strengths so that you know, okay, this is what's important to me now. And this is what I'm good at. So this is what I'll say yes or no to, you know, at this time. So how nice is that to have that clarity? Because otherwise sometimes we say yes to everything and no to everything and we don't know what to do next. So that's super important to take those first few steps. And if you want any help with that, let me know. I have my WAG groups, my Women Doc Accountability groups, opening throughout the year. One's opening soon. Get in because they close. And then I also do one-on-one and group coaching, as well as keynotes and workshops. So I love coming to corporate spaces, explain, you know, neuroscience that can help boost the team's connectivity, creativity, and help teams through change management, right? Because the one certain in life is there's always going to be change. So, what's in here? Look at this gorgeous. So reach out, just DM me through the video here. And I would love to hear more about, you know, your corporate situation, your team challenges at this moment. And we could work out a workshop for you in the next quarter, next 2 quarters, and make it happen, right? I've done hour-and-a-half long workshops, a couple-hour workshops. I've done, you know, just keynotes for big events. So you see what would be helpful for your event. Okay, I look forward to it. And then if you want one-on-one coaching, you reach out to me, and I do group coaching as well. And because, you know, I like to make neuroscience fun, understandable, useful, right? Check out these olive trees. They're loaded. They're loaded with little baby olives. Do you see them? How cute are they? Just like this little olive tree here. You see them? Oh yeah, little ones up here. What? Just like this olive tree, loaded with olives. You're loaded with gifts. And once you understand your neuroscience, then it's easier to live in your gifts. Right? You got this. Reach out.